hear those horns? Oh yes.
Well, even if we fall out, brethren, we go all out. We will never watch the family, them for us sprawl out. Everywhere we crawl out, we ready to brawl out. Fire burn our friend is family, we ball out. We jump in with the family.
Good night, good night. Feeling good tonight. City East in the house. Let me hear you, City East. My brothers and sisters, oh, it's so nice to be here in the East. To be here in Freetown. And I'm here, my brothers and sisters, to proclaim the good news that the United Progressive Party will form the next government in Antigua and Barbuda. And I'm here to tell you that the man for the job up here is none other than Brother Sherfield Bowen. As they say, Sherfield is the real deal. Let me hear you say, Sherfield is the real deal. I can say for my brother, he has been tried and he has been tested. He's been through the furnace of adversity as the snares and schemes of the wicked try to destroy him. But they say what does not destroy you makes you stronger. And we are so happy to say tonight that our brother is not just strong, but he's come out stronger. Our brother is not just resilient, but he has come out even more resilient. And we know, my brothers and sisters, that Brother Sherfield brings to the table a level of wisdom and maturity that will serve any new government very well. We know that Brother Sherfield is committed to serve the people, not just of St. Philip South, but the people of Antigua and Barbuda. But I want to get a little personal tonight for my own sake. You know, when I come in the East, I think of the fact that my own mother is from the East. My mother came from Willie Keys. And she moved to St. John's in Grey Hill. And out of hard work, working that sewing machine, she was able to provide for me and my 4 sisters. But it says a lot about the people from the East. We know that so many of you here in Freetown, others who have come from other villages near and far, that the East has a special flavor about it. And as we talk about some of the outstanding individuals who have come from this area, I am moved to recognize the passing of the Lee family, the patriarch of the Lee family. And I want us to recognize, as Brother Chester did earlier, some among us who have really played their part. And I want to say to the Lee family that the United Progressive Party, we recognize and we remember the contribution of your father. But coming back to my own situation, I want to just reminisce on the fact that the values that I have came from the East. They came from my mother. And I recognized from an early age that it would be education that would allow me to become a man. And I played by the rules, got myself an education, and I'm happy that I'm here today, able to serve my people. When I went away to study, I had opportunities that could have allowed me to go abroad, make a lot of money. But I chose to come back to Antigua to teach at the Antigua Grammar School. And seeing the suffering that so many parents had to go through, seeing the hardship of teachers, that got me into the spirit of political activity and activism. And my brothers and sisters, as we go forward in the sure knowledge that this is not a struggle for those who come to see what they can get. This is a struggle for those who have committed themselves to give to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. I want to say the future is our shared future. Your future, my future, our children's future. And we have to take a very serious look at what the future holds. Just to talk about the cost of living. We had a prime minister who went to parliament to pass a budget and had nothing to say about the cost of living. You know about the cost of living. You know that what used to be able to take you $50 is now $100. You know milk gone up, soap gone up, everything gone up. Cornmeal gone up too, so the fungi gone up. But we put on the table a proposal to bring some ease to the squeeze for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. And you heard me when I put forward the proposal that we would reduce the duty on foodstuffs. Is that a good or bad idea? It's a good idea. And the dunce one they call Gaston Brown, he is saying, oh, they're already zero rated. Well, it is the ABST that is zero rated. I know, I was Minister of Finance. I was the one who designed the basket of zero rated goods for the ABST. But he's running this country as Minister of Finance. And it's either he knows and he's fooling you, or he doesn't know and he's proven to the people of this country that he is a confounded dunce. But let me restate once again, brothers and sisters. We know about the zero-rated goods. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about duty. Duty. You have things like cooking oil, you heard me say it before, attracts 40% duty on cooking oil. So any little fried fish, fried dumpling, anything you fry, the cost has gone up exponentially, hugely, to a great extent. We have to do something. We have to bring relief to our people. So we say we're going to look at reducing the duty on goods that come into this country, foodstuff. Now remember, when something that used to be landed at $100, when it lands for $150, the government is getting more tax. Because where it was 40% of $100 is now 40% of $150 for cooking oil, for example. So if we reduce the amount of duty, all that we're doing is passing on some of the additional benefit to the people. Anything wrong with that? Anything wrong with that? We're a people-first government. So who forget the benefit? Another people? But that's what we say. But you know, every time we put anything on the table for the benefit of the people, they say it can't be done. But you know the song. Who bring in the school meals program? Who bring in the school uniform program? Who raised pensioners' pension from less than $100 to $800? Who bring in the people's benefit program? Oh Lord.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
Oh Lord, turn it up, turn it up. Let me hear that again. Turn it up, turn it up.
Turn it up, turn it up.
Blow your horn for the UPP. And then we come to the water situation. But you know, cost of living, we spoke about that. And what we will do. When people ask what we will do, one of the first things we will do within the first 100 days is reduce the duty on foodstuff to bring relief to people. But then they ask what we're going to do about water. You heard tonight the cries of the people coming from Brother Alex Brown. Brother Alex Brown told you about the cries of the people from his constituency. You heard Brother Jamal Pringle, who told you about the relief measures that a UPP government will introduce in order to make your tanks more affordable, your pumps more affordable, to make it easier for farmers in this country as a people-first government. But I want to also say to you, brothers and sisters, that what they have been telling us is a pack of lies. That we do not have so much as a water problem or water crisis. What we have is a crisis of management and a failing of leadership. Let me tell you something here, man. You heard them a few years ago boasting and bragging that APUA take over SEMCORP. You remember? Okay. When they took over SEMCORP, the plant at Crabs was producing 4.1 million gallons a day. Round that off, say 4 million gallons a day. Crabs, 4 million gallons a day. That was in 2016. Today, the plant at Crabs producing 2 million gallons a day. 2 million gallons. But it has the capacity to produce not just 4, it can produce 4.5 million gallons a day. You hear me? So they are actually producing just about half what can be produced. And then when you go to Camp Blizzard was built to produce 600,000 gallons a day. And today, Camp Blizzard producing 300,000 gallons a day. Half of what it can produce. When you go to Shell Beach can produce 1.7 million gallons a day, and today producing 1 million. And this story goes on. Fry's Beach, which was put in by the UPP, It has the capacity now. They've just added the 350,000 to produce 950,000. And they're producing 700. So the point I'm making, brothers and sisters, they have told us in the budget that they're going to build a plant in Bethesda that's going to cost the people of this country 14 million US dollars. You hear me? 14 million US. How much that in the EC? Nearly 40 million EC dollars. You know what that could do? That 40 million EC dollars could be fixing the system where they have all the tanks in an act of wickedness. Let me tell you, they have a tank up at Patterson's with a capacity for 400,000 gallons of water. 400,000. And up to now, it's empty and it's not connected. You have a tank in Buckley's with a capacity of 300,000 gallons. And he's sitting up there. Cockroach run up and down from the tank. Ants down into the tank. Empty. And people can't get water. You have the tank at Collins. That tank full. But it's not connected. Now, my brothers and sisters, I have pointed out to you, first of all, the capacity that we have to produce water is way beyond what we are now producing. And the reason why we are not producing it is because of bad management. The government of Antigua and Barbuda stands guilty of gross negligence to the people of this country. Gross negligence. The reason why the plant at Crabs that can produce over 4 million gallons a day is producing half of that is because the government has not provided any clear plan. They have no system. They can't run anything. And so as a result of that, they don't clean the membranes. They don't look after the equipment. It run down. They have no scheduled maintenance. And so you look at what happened today. They put out a notice. They say emergency maintenance. So you run the car till the car wheel drop off, till the engine is smoke, till everything start crackle, pop, and then you lock down. And when they lock down, when you see the list, Vernon, Parham, Fort Road, Redcliffe Key, and the whole island. So no water in the country. No water in the country for 3 days, 72 hours. And when you talk about the connection of the tanks into the distribution system, the workers will tell you overnight you run the water into the tank and by next day you can gravity feed. Right now, English Harbour is supposed to get water every day, all day. Liberta, All Saints, Willie Freetown. If they were doing what the UPP established with those water tanks, to have the tanks for storage, that is where the answer lies. Because even when you go and pay more money for another reverse osmosis plant, if you don't have storage, you're wasting time. If you don't have storage, you're wasting time. And they have storage tanks sitting down, empty, idle, doing nothing, and nigga can't get water for bathe their skin. Imagine that. That is not just negligence. That is outright wickedness. And we need to demand that they immediately get going on this country. Get going. Come out. Time for them to go. Time for them to go. Blow your horn if you think it's time for them to go. And so, brothers and sisters, we can get things going with the cost of living. We'll help our people. And when it comes to water, not only will we introduce programs so that things that you need at home to help you to be more self-sufficient with water, things that you need on your farm as a farmer to have water, we're going to address those things. And when it comes to the overall system, we're going to fix that. Because they've been feeding you a lot of lies. And when I tell you that all the plants are producing well below capacity because this government has no vision and no plan and no program, I know what I'm saying. And they come and they give you a lot of hocus pocus about 40% leakage. It's a lie. L-I-E, lie. Look, that lie so big. L-I-I-E-E-E. That's how you spell that lie thing. Look. Common sense. Pick sense from nonsense. If 40% of the water was leaking, everywhere you walk in Antigua, you'll see water sprout out. Because it means nearly half were in the pipe, outside of the pipe. The foolishness, nothing goes so. Talk to the workers, talk to the people who know this 40% leak is a big fat lie. It is a lie to cover up the fact that they're not producing, and they're not producing because they have no plan, no program, they have no management skills. Them no know what them to do. Time for them to come out. Pull up, pull up. Time for Antigua people get water. We have enough capacity to produce water. But they want to go spend money, $40 million, to go buy a plant that is not necessary. $40 million. But school children say that the reason why they're so keen for to spend money to buy this and buy that, because guess what? Somebody in there getting some kickback why they're in so much a rush. Rather than fix the problem, they're going to buy a new one. Can you imagine that? My brothers, I think we have enough reasons why we need to rid this country of this plague called the Antigua Labour Party. And so, what am I saying? My brothers and sisters, thank you very much. So, look, my brothers and sisters, in fact, my sisters and brothers, the train is moving. The momentum is building. We can feel the action in this country. People have had enough. People are fed up. It's time for a change. If you agree it's time for change, let me hear you, man.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
If you feel it's time for change, let me hear you.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
Let me hear the horns if it's time for change. Better days are coming, brothers and sisters. Better days are coming. Honk your horn for the UPP. Honk your horn for Sherfield Bowen. Honk your horn for the Redeem Team. Honk your horn, honk your horn. No retreat, no retreat, no surrender. One love.